I'm Anissa. This is my husband, Bronson. We have a daughter who is a little over 2 that has Kabuki syndrome. When I had her, it became apparent immediately that there was something wrong.
So they rushed her to the NICU, right? First in Timpanogos.
And then we ended up at Primary Children's with a geneticist, and we kind of felt like that was overkill because she was fine.
She passed the genetic panels. She wasn't healthy, but she didn't have a genetic disorder.
Right. And they quickly, within like 2 days, diagnosed her with Kabuki syndrome based off of some of their findings. So Kabuki syndrome is pretty rare. It has a really broad spectrum of outcomes, so that was one of the hardest things for us is we weren't sure where she would fall on that spectrum, and we still aren't
And we're
sure.
still not sure, right?
Yeah, so some of them go to normal public schools, graduate high school. Some of them never talk and never walk.
When they're children,
They have heart problems,
they've got
kidney
heart problems, kidney problems,
eye problems, breathing problems,
feeding problems, right? All this stuff that eventually they grow out of, but as children, they have a really hard time with.
Yeah.
So when she came home from the hospital, they sent us home, and she had an NG tube, and she was on oxygen.
Right.
And then she had
a
the
pulse oximeter that would monitor her heart rate and her oxygen that would constantly go off. It really hit us when we came home from the NICU that okay, this is our reality. We're overwhelmed. We don't know how to do with it. I mean, I'm even in the medical world, and I felt like I was very underprepared for dealing with her. And it was maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks after we had her home that we realized we needed more help. And one of my sisters mentioned to me that she'd heard of an early intervention program where people come in and help with speech and physical therapy and nursing. And we found the one here, the Kids That Count, in Salem, and I called them. They were really great. Someone came out pretty quickly after, and we started seeing people every week. When they first started coming, a nurse would come and an occupational therapist. Sometimes they'd just help me bathe her because she had a tube down her nose that would tape to her face, and then she had her pulse oximeter on, so she was really hard to bathe, and she has low muscle tone, so she was floppy in the water. They would come and weigh her, measure her, make sure she was growing correctly, and then the occupational therapist would help us with just exercises to do. They teach me ways that I can develop her language skills just by talking to her more, narrating my life, just trying to communicate with her more. They'll come and watch her eat, and they'll teach me how to move her food to her molars. There's tricks on how to touch their face, and that makes them want to swallow and things like that. And I just feel like there's this wealth of knowledge that helped her develop these usually easy skills that kids come out knowing how to do.
But a big part of it was the reassurance that we were doing okay things, right? So she would throw up all the time. She would throw up, 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day, right? And when she threw up, it was really scary. We felt like, what are we doing wrong?
Having just the Kids That Count people come each week and just reassure us that we were doing our best, and that with our help, she could reach her potential, and that might be not what we had expected, but that she would still have a great life. That was really, really beneficial for us. And they had family support groups that we could go to and learn just how to cope with a child with a disability.
I felt like we had no power, no control, like everything was totally out of our control. And the Kids That Count came and said, hey, this is really hard. Here are some things that you can do.
Since Zippy was 5 weeks old, they've come every week. Marion and it, so a nurse and an occupational therapist, and we really feel like they're family. They really care for us, and it's nice to have someone that loves my child.
It's so easy to tell how much they really care about Zipporah.
Yeah, she gets so excited when she sees them come. She's just happy, and it makes because they still have to weigh her, they still have to measure her, but she's not afraid of them. When we go to the doctor's office, and she screams the whole time because she loves them, and she can feel that they love her, and they're consistent. They come every time. They're just this one constant in our life. It's scary when you find out there's something wrong with your child, and it feels isolating, and it feels overwhelming, but it's not the end of the world. They're still your child. You still love them, and you want what's best for them. And what's best for them is early intervention and getting them the help that they need, especially through Kids That Count, because that's the one that we've used. But that has made all the difference.